So you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home in the next year, but you've heard that the market is going to crash. That's right. The real estate market in 2025 is going to absolutely just take a dive, and you either want to be there for it when you're a buyer or you want to avoid it if you're looking to sell a home. Well, in this video, you're going to learn what's really going on, not just the chatterboxes that want your clicks and likes on social media and on the news. So if you've been looking to buy a house and you want the real information regarding the nation and the Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Carolina markets, stick around to the very end, because I'm going to tell you exactly how you need to time your purchase or sale to make sure you get the best possible opportunity. Now, if you're looking for everything Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Carolina, the ins, the outs, and everything in between, you've come to the right channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on everything you didn't know you needed to know. In addition to that, I help people buy homes and sell homes in the Carolinas. So if you have been thinking about purchasing a home, whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, whether you're moving across the world, across the country, or just across town, I really get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you. So all of my information is in the description below. Be sure to pop down there, send me a text, a call, an email, or set up a Zoom meeting, and I'm gonna make your move exactly what you want it to be. So let's talk about this whole 2025 market crash that we keep hearing about. That's right. I've heard it from clients, I've heard it from other agents, I've heard it on the news. The market is going to crash. Here's the thing, there's absolutely no statistical data to back that up at all whatsoever. Let's talk about where we see a market crash. A market crash happens when you have an increase in purchase prices and then suddenly have a decrease in demand. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have not seen a decrease in demand in homes. Now, while we have seen, and we're going to talk about this, a little bit of an increase in inventory, we are actually still at a deficit for homes on the market. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what goes into this. But if we're looking at the entire country and in the Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Carolina markets, we are not headed for a crash. In fact, like I said, we still are at a deficit of homes, and they are increasing steadily. Now, where some people are calling for the crash is because we saw intense demand for homes between 2020 and 2021. Here's the thing, it's not that the demand actually changed, but instead the ability for people to make that purchase. That's the only difference that changed. There are hundreds of thousands of people out there wanting to buy a home, but if the interest rates are still too high that they can't make that purchase and make that monthly mortgage payment, they don't proceed with the purchase. So where we see the demand drop, it's not because of loss of jobs in the marketplace, it's not because of the economy, and that's usually where you see that things are going to drop out. Instead, there's been a slight reduction in buyers that are in the marketplace due to the ability for them to purchase. So where are we going to see some change? Well, I will tell you, in September, they actually just released this today, the powers that be released that there are going to be interest rate drops mid-September. Now, what this is actually going to do is it's not going to cause a crash. In fact, it's going to do the opposite. You're going to see more buyers coming to the marketplace because it's now affordable for them to do so. So stay tuned. We're going to go into the details of what it's actually looking like in our marketplace as well as the rest of the country. Now, as I mentioned, there's absolutely nothing to show that we are headed for any kind of crash in our economy because it is actually still quite strong. While there is a slightly higher unemployment rate, of course, than we saw back in 2020 pre-COVID, we are still in a strong economy, which is going to support the growth in real estate. Now, what many people don't realize is part of the reason why the interest rates were dropped so drastically low between 2020 and 2021 is in order to keep the economy moving. See, the purchase and sale of goods is what keeps our economy flowing, the flowing of money. Well, by reducing those interest rates, it allowed people to go make very large purchases, homes, and keep money moving in our economy. So as the need for purchases to be made subsided as we came into 2022, the interest rates went up and, well, you saw the demand come back down. This was in order to control the inflation and get things back to a little bit more normal. Now, in looking at all of the statistics for the Mecklenburg County, that's what I'm going to be focusing on for this video, for Mecklenburg County here in Charlotte, we did still see growth on almost everything having to do with housing, from June of last year to June of this year. Now, of course, we're going to get the July numbers coming out here soon, but it's still going to give you a pretty accurate depiction of what's going on. Now, June 2023 year to date through June 2024, we saw a 9.5% increase in homes listed. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, Kayla, you said when there's more homes and less demand, that means a crash. Don't worry, it's still within the actual bounds that this is completely normal. What we've also seen year to date is pending sales year to date are up by 4.4%. This means, yes, we had more listings that also increased, but we're also seeing more pending sales, meaning we still have plenty of buyers working to match the listings. I would also like to remind you that this is what we're looking at year to date. So we're comparing to the previous year, meaning we had extremely low inventory through 2020 into 2022. I mean extreme. I mean a few hours of inventory on the market, and that's about as long as homes are staying. Now we've seen an increase in days on market. Cumulative days on market back in June of 2023 was at 38 days. We've actually reduced that at this point to 34 days. That's a 10.5% reduction in days on market, meaning things are starting to pick up, which honestly makes sense because the interest rates have come down from what we saw last year. Now, the faster the homes are moving off the market, the better chance that you're also going to see price increases. Now, the median sales price year to date from 23 to 24 in Mecklenburg County went from $425 to $445. That's a bit of a jump. In 1 year, we saw the median home price go up 4.7%. Now, if we look at that as an average, it went from $542 to $594, a 9.7% increase in the average home sale price. Now, here's the interesting part. Although the sales prices increased, we actually saw a decrease in the number of homes sold. Year-to-date, home sales is down 7.1%, even though the sales price is up. What does this mean? Well, one thing that I've been noticing on the market is a lot of price reductions. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But there are still sellers out there that think that this is still 2020 and they can slap any price on there and overshoot the market. I'm going to tell you right now, you have a much better chance of getting your home sold and for top dollar if you price it appropriately or slightly under fair market value. It's going to bring more buyers, more attention, and potentially push your price up. But most people are not playing by those rules, and therefore we're seeing a lot more houses sitting on the market and doing price reductions. Now, because of this, that means we're seeing more supply on the market because houses are still sitting there. Now, this doesn't mean there's less demand. The demand is still there, but buyers don't want to pay too much for a property. 2023, we had 1.8 months of supply. Now we're sitting at 2 months of supply. Now, none of this is a bad thing. Remember, we don't want a deficit of homes. We want to make sure there's appropriate inventory. So don't fret that the inventory is increasing. Having 2 to 4 months of inventory is actually a more stable market, and it makes it a more even market between buyers and sellers. So now we're going to broaden our view just a little bit, but we're going to look at what's going on over the last 7 days. And I've been tracking this. This has actually been consistent over the last several weeks following this trend. Now, the information I'm going to be giving you is specific to our MLS, which goes all the way out to the mountains in Cherokee and all the way here into Charlotte, South Carolina, and up into Boone. So it's a very large area. But here is what we're seeing, and this 7-day forecast that we've seen the last 7 days, this is happening over and over and over again over the last several weeks. In the last 7 days, we've seen 1,600 homes come to market. Well, that's a great thing. I love seeing inventory come on, especially for my clients looking for something specific. So if you are a buyer, this means there's more inventory coming out and you don't have to settle. By the way, sellers, this is why your house might not be selling. See, buyers no longer have to settle for whatever's there because it's getting scooped up every couple of days. In fact, they can actually take their time, and what I'm noticing from buyers in our market is that they actually are more hesitant and more particular on what they're looking for in the home and don't have that urgency to go ahead and make that purchase. So if you're trying to position in the right way, make sure you price appropriately to bring in the proper buyer. While 1,600 came to market, we also saw 1,200 go under contract. Now, you're probably starting to notice less going under contract than has come to market. Yes, that is what we're starting to see, which means inventory is growing a little bit at a time. So once again, if you're looking to buy, there's way more inventory to choose from. You don't have to settle. Now, here's where things get interesting. I'm going to remind you again, 1,600 came to market, 1,200 went under contract, And we had 1,500 that closed in the last 7 days. Now, that's not necessarily the interesting part, although it's kind of cool to see that we've got 1,500 closing, 1,600 came to market. We're kind of starting to move that inventory through at almost the same pace, or so you would think. Take a look at this. Over 1,800 homes had a price decrease or adjustment in price. What this means is these homes were sitting on the market, perhaps they were asking too much for them, maybe it needed more work than people were willing to do. All of these factors come into play. But those 1,800 homes that are on the market right now, 1,800 of them have done a price reduction. So what we're seeing is we're seeing less homes go under contract weekly. We're seeing less homes go closed or move to closing weekly than are coming to market. And we're seeing price reductions happening. I'm going to remind you, this doesn't mean there's going to be a crash. It means that inventory is starting to go up. There's actually going to be competition in the marketplace, which we haven't been used to for a while because we went through 2020 and 2021 where it was an absolute fire sale and anyone could purchase a home. By the way, I would love to see everyone purchase a home. But what I'm trying to point out is there are less buyers able to purchase in certain price ranges or at all, and we're still having the flow of people starting to put homes on the market. Now, why are we seeing this increase of homes on the market compared to 2020, let's say? Well, part of this also has to do with those that have those amazing 2% and 3% interest rates are finally ready to let it go. Meaning, for a very long time, some people said, well, I could move, but I'm not going to be able to keep my interest rate. And now they're saying, well, I need to move, so it's got to go. So that's part of it. The other part of it is a seller who's selling their home is going to have to buy somewhere else, meaning, well, they're going to be on the hunt as well. So while they're looking for the right property to purchase, they might also have their home for sale. So it's just this cycle that will keep winding. But what we are going to see is while we have quite a bit of competition right now on the market when it comes to listings, we are going to see an increase in buyers over the next 2 to 4 months because of those interest rates coming down. So if you're looking to sell, get ready. It's about to go down. And if you're looking to buy, it's not something to shy away from. We're not going to see the crazy competition we saw in the 2020, 2021 era because we're not going back to 2% interest rates. More than likely, we're going to be somewhere in the 5s, which honestly is a very normal interest rate to be at. So just be prepared. It is coming at you and there's going to be plenty of opportunity when it does. Now you stay to the end of the video and I'm sure at this point you realize, okay, the market's not crashing, the sky isn't falling, I'm going to be fine. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, but I did promise you to tell you when the perfect time to buy or sell is. Here's what I'm going to tell you. There is almost no way to time selling at a high and buying at a low unless you rent or go somewhere else in between. Now, we do know that there's not going to be a market crash, but what I can tell you, if you're looking to purchase a home and you're waiting on interest rates to come down, guess what? I've had clients waiting 2 years. And in that time, with the information I've told you, we have seen the prices go up 7.5%, 9.7% year over year. So what does that mean? Well, the house that they were looking to buy could potentially be another $50,000 more expensive than it was 2 years ago, and they're still waiting on an interest rate. Now, in that time, if you look at where the interest rate was then, if they would have purchased, they actually would have had the same payment if they purchased today with a slightly lower interest rate. Yeah, kind of crazy. Now, you can run your own numbers to see what it would look like, but my point to you is marry the house, date the rate. Get the home that you want because this is the lowest that it's ever going to be. Your interest rate can fluctuate. And for those of you that are new to purchasing a home, just because you have a 30-year mortgage at a certain interest rate doesn't mean you have to keep it forever. As rates decrease, you can refinance that loan into a lower mortgage payment with a lower interest rate. So that's going to fluctuate and the prices are still going to keep increasing. But if you want to get into the market / get a house before that competition increases, your best opportunity is to get in before the rates drop and before everyone floods the market. Now, if you are looking to sell your home, guess what? You're in luck. Regardless of when you plan on listing your home, you can still earn on your home and you can still earn top dollar. Like I said, it's very hard to time it perfectly, but I am still having clients that are getting multiple offers for over asking price, and it all comes down to having the correct marketing plan going in and positioning yourself at the correct price, and making sure you're aggressive. All of these things I do for my clients, and we are seeing multiple offers still in quote unquote this market. So don't fret, don't have a fire sale, but there are strategic ways that you can get ahead of the market and win. Now, I hope you got value out of this video. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, drop them in the comments below. I want to hear from you, and I really do respond to everybody. So I'd love to hear your information, your ideas, your thoughts on the market. And if you did get value, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd truly appreciate it. I would love to grow my channel and provide more information for you, so let me know how I can help. And I really do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites, people flagging me down to let me know that they are looking to relocate to the Charlotte area, buy a home, or sell a home, and I am here to help. So whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, whether you're moving across the world, across the country, or just across town, be sure to give me a call, text, email, or set up an appointment with me, and I'll make your move exactly what you want it to be. Until next time, I look forward to showing you around town. So you're making the move. There's a lot of videos that you can be watching, like this one right here, or maybe even this one. Really either one of these, but honestly, watch both of them because they're gonna help you make the move. Go ahead, pick one. They're both really good.